Since the age of exploration, traveling has been a primary interest amongst Europeans and cultures around the world. I am Lawson Harris, a student at the University of West Georgia. Since grade school, I've had an acute interest in geography. I have traveled to many places in the United States, but I was ready for something more. My mom has been a flight attendant since before I was born, so we are blessed to have always taken advantage of her flight benefits. Travel is the process of making a journey, typically of some length or abroad. Traveling can give people a better perspective of the rest of the world and can enhance one's understanding of the human experience. First, I'm going to tell you about traveling in the United States and how beautiful our country can be. Dating back to the Lewis and Clark exploration, our country has had a rich history of traveling. When they set off on their journey, they had no idea what this new country had in store. From the Great Plains to the Rocky Mountains and then to the West Coast, these explorers were in awe with this huge country. As I have crossed states off my list, I have learned to enjoy meeting new people and experiencing new things. The United States is truly a melting pot. There are so many different cultures and ideas within our own nation. From the Gold Coast to Alaska, I've had the privilege of seeing some of the most amazing places and amazing people in the world, right here in our own backyard. As United States citizens, we are lucky to be able to experience many new amazing places without a passport. With a vast highway system and air travel becoming ever cheaper, domestic travel has become easier. If you're looking to travel strictly for amusement, the United States is also home to some of the best roller coasters and water parks in the world. I've had the pleasure to also travel as a thrill seeker, visiting different states with the purpose of riding the best new thrill rides. Whether you are looking to experience new places and people, or you're looking for entertainment, the United States is a great way to start. The first time I was able to fly out of the country, it was to visit my aunt who lives in London. I am very lucky to have an outlet in Europe to visit this place. My aunt has taken us to many countries around the continent. It is amazing how the different countries are so individual. They always have different ideas of life and opinions of tourists. Although these countries are very different than the United States, they are also similar in wealth. It wasn't until I visited Central America that I witnessed poverty firsthand. In high school, I had the opportunity to take a trip to Costa Rica. We stayed in nice areas, but drove through slums and shanty towns. Poor in the United States can be very different than poor in some countries. On the bus out of the city, we drove through areas where people were basically living in tin sheds. I was in awe seeing people washing their clothes in buckets and children wearing tattered sandals. Recently, I had the opportunity to go on safari in South Africa. I was surprised to see the bustling city of Johannesburg. It was not the Africa I'd heard of. On our way out to the wildlife preserve, things began to become less developed. We crossed through cities that were constructed from only cinder blocks. We visited Zambia and Zimbabwe to see Victoria Falls, which was one of the most amazing things I'd ever seen. This waterfall was truly incredible. Zimbabwe is a failed state. The currency has no value, so they used US dollars. Almost all of the country's income came from tourism. We walked through an area where locals were selling gifts and souvenirs, and a few dollars seemed to make them ecstatic. They were so welcoming and happy to see us, even just being venturers in their country. Visiting Africa gave me a greater appreciation for what we have. As global citizens, it is really important for us to treat the human race as a unit and to find ways to make life better for all. Traveling can give us a better understanding of ourselves by hearing about others. It can give people a greater appreciation for what they have. In this essay, I have discussed some of my experiences traveling around the world and why I think it is a good idea to branch out. I hope that everyone listening has gained an idea of what it is like to travel and learn about new people. Thank you.